Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we will be discussing one more important topic related to PySpark and Spark SQL, and that is aggregated functions. If you are preparing for any interview question or you are dealing with your data engineering code on a day-to-day basis, you may encounter this aggregated function. So in this video, we will be focusing on few aggregated functions like count, minimum, maximum, and aggregated functions. In the next video, we will focus on some more aggregated functions. So the most important video that will be there in this particular topic will be your count function. So you need to know how exactly to use the count function, and we will see everything in the practical. But before that, let's understand what is an aggregated function. Aggregated function, for that I will give you a very simple example. Let's say you have a child and you are giving few chocolates to your child. Now, the purpose of those chocolate will be different. For example, the chocolates will be of different sizes. Let's say there is a Cadbury Celebration chocolate. Then you have a Dairy Milk Silk chocolate. Then you have a small Milky Bar 10 rupees chocolate. And then you will have some toffees. So they are of different sizes, right? And you have given, let's say, 5 chocolate to your child. The child work will be here to get how many chocolates he has received. Has he got 5 chocolates, 7, 10, 15? How many, right? You need to ask your child how many chocolates you got. Now, next question will be, which is the biggest chocolate that he has got? And the next question will be the minimum size of the chocolate. Now, let's say he knows what is the price of each chocolate, and you ask him to calculate what is the average value that is required to purchase those chocolates. So this is how you actually connect to the real-time basis. What is the count? What is a min? What is a max? What is a aggregated function? So aggregation means collection of few things and you are grouping it to get some desired result. Let's say you want to count. That is an aggregation value. You want to go ahead and get the minimum value. Once you aggregate all the values, then only you decide which is the minimum value. Let's say you have a number from 1 to 10. How will you decide which is the minimum value? You need to aggregate all. You have to get everything in one bucket and then decide which one is your minimum value. So now let's see a real-time scenario where exactly you have to use these functions. There could be multiple scenarios, but a very common real-time scenario here is, let's say you have to calculate the last modified date. Last modified date is what? You are you need to know which is the maximum updated time, right? So that is your last modified date. So this is a real-time use case that you can use in your day-to-day data engineering activity. So without delay, we will jump into the practicals. But before that, if you are liking the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends as well. Let's begin with the practicals. So now we have this cluster up and running in Databricks. First thing that I will be doing is I will be importing some functions. If you don't know, please check out this, how you can import the functions. Then I will be creating a very simple data set using the create data frame method. If you don't know how to create a data frame from a list, a data set, then please go ahead and watch my previous video in which I've explained to you how to exactly do it. Now, in this particular data set, I have created a schema in which I have mentioned my employee name, the department, state, salary, age, and bonus. And I have created a data frame, and let me execute this particular command in order to show you what data set is there. In this data set, if you will see very carefully, the data is present. In some of the values, there are null values. Let's say in the state, there is one null value. in the bonus, we don't know what bonus Scott and Jen received. But we need to go ahead and find the details, how many employees are working in the organization. So we have a count function. So if you think about count, think whether the count is a transformation or it's an action. It's a very common question that you will be getting in a interview. Count can be both. It could be a transformation, it could be an action. It depends on how exactly it's being used. In this df.count, if I run this, then you will see the number of elements or records are 9. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and count the data on the basis of some selected columns, you can do that also. With the help of df, you are selecting which column. First of all, you need to mention on which column you want to calculate the number of records. I want to calculate the number of records on employee name. So I'm putting that inside the string and I'm mentioning the count function and I'm doing a df.select. So it will give me all the records who have an employee name. Now, what is the difference? Let's say you are doing a count and the column name, and you are also doing a df.count without mentioning a column. What's the difference between it? So we will be able to clearly mention that difference if I use a different column name which has a null value. So if I use a df.select and a count, then it is showing me 8 records. Why is it showing me 8 records? If I go on the top, there is one null value in the state. This null value, there is a that is less. So what it will do is, if you are mentioning the column name, it is going to count all the records except the null values. So therefore, if I see this df select and count and state, instead of 9 records, it's giving me 8 records. So that is the functionality if you want to eliminate the null value and you want to calculate the records that are present in a particular column. You can use the count of that particular column. Now, if you want to calculate the count of all the columns, just think what it will give you the result. Will it give you 9 or will it give you less than that? Star means it's going to calculate all the records, all the columns of the records, right? In this, I'm not mentioning one column, I'm mentioning all the columns. So if I'm mentioning count star, it's going to give me all the records and calculate all the records that are present in the table or a data frame. So all the records means it has 9. It will calculate the null values as well. So let's recap here. What is the difference between a count, df.count and df.count of the column name? Both of them will give you the result. In the df.count, it will give you all the null values including that, and df.select count of the column name, it's going to give you only the not null records. And in count star, it's going to give you all the records, right? Now, if you think about df.select count of state, whether it's a transformation or whether it's a action, if I go ahead and run this, you see it gives me the result, but it doesn't give me the result. This is a transformation. But here df.count is an action. Let's see how we can calculate the maximum, minimum and sum of the values. I want to calculate the maximum value of the salary and minimum value of the salary and what is the sum of the salaries that every employee is getting. So I will be first selecting the salary and I'm mentioning what aggregation I want. I want the sum. It means it's going to sum all the salary of all the employees and give me one result. Now, among these salary, now if I want to calculate what is the minimum, I can do that also. And what is the maximum, I can do that as well. So let's see how we can do it. With the help of sum, I will mention the aggregated function. Inside the aggregated function, I will mention the column name in a string. Similarly, I want to calculate the max. So inside the max, I will be mentioning my column name inside the string. And for minimum, I will be calculating the salary, minimum salary of the employee, and I will put it inside the quotation, means it is a string. Now, if I go ahead and run this command, you see it's written sum of salary, maximum of salary, and minimum. So in this sum of salary, if I have to go, then I will put an alias on this and I will just say sum of salary, because it doesn't look good here, right? Sum of salary. I should go ahead and mention what does this particular column means. So I will do an alias similarly for max of salary and similarly for min of salary. Okay, now let me run this particular command. See, now the column name has changed. If I want to calculate the average of salary, then I have to use the average function and inside that the column name. So these are some functions that are commonly being used in PySpark and Spark SQL. I will come up with the next video in which we will deep dive into some advanced aggregated functions. So do watch that particular video as well. I will mention it in the description. If you have liked this video, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends.
So much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.